Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would do a video which I've actually been asked for a lot via my blog and stuff, because everyone noticed that I always have my Mulberry Bayswater. It is on me pretty much all of the time. And it's my bag of choice. It's my go-to bag, and so people are like, you've used it so much, you've had it for so long, why don't you do a review? And I thought, you know, I've had it for a really long time, so actually, yeah, why not share how I found it, why I love it so much, anything that I would change. We can also discuss the newer versions of these which I've seen, which look really beautiful. Some of the changes that they've made on the newer bag are exactly what I would say probably could do with extra on this bag to make it even more wearable and durable. So yeah, let's get straight into it. So I got my Mulberry Bayswater for my 21st birthday. It was a big surprise because I've been going on and on about how much I wanted it for so long, and my parents were like, no, you're not having something that's that expensive, it's a lot of money. And yeah, they just kind of persuaded me that I just didn't think I was getting it at all. It got to my 21st and Dad said that he would take me into town to pick up my present. So we went into town. We went through a House of Fraser, and in House of Fraser they obviously have a concession there. And he's like, let's just have a look at these bags, you know, let's see what it's like. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is it. And he was, so there's, I don't know if you know, but in the Bayswater there are two different sizes. So this is the larger size, and then there's also a smaller size. So he kind of convinced himself in his head that he was going to get me the smaller size because that would be more reasonable. However, when we saw the difference between the sizes, like the smaller is a lot smaller, and so yeah, we decided that we would have a look at both. And when we saw that the price difference was £100, it was kind of a, like, I don't know why anyone would go for the smaller bag when it is that much smaller. For an extra £100 you just get so much more for your money, I personally think. And Mulberry is one of those brands that it's an investment. It's a great, quintessentially British brand. Classic, you see it, you know it's a Mulberry. And although there are so many fakes on the market, as there is with most bags, I think when they age, you can really tell. Like, you can just tell that this is a real Mulberry. The way that it just naturally falls and has these creases. And I just think it gets better with age. Now, I do look after mine. As you can see, I've just got it out of its dust bag, and this shows that it's quite old. So I am now 26, so it's 5 years old. So this was the Mulberry dust bags back then. They're now grey. So yeah, this still sleeps in this every single night, and I really cherish it. I spray it with a leather spray probably once every 3 months or so, just to protect it. When I'm out and about, it very rarely just gets chucked on the floor. It will either be on a seat next to me or on my lap. So I will show you kind of where up close in just a minute. So this colour here is the oak. Oak is what I always wanted. I think it's so classic. And I have a pair of really old shoes which I live in still. They're super old. I'll show you them. They are from ASOS, and show you these because I know that I've shown you all like my lovely luxury pieces that I look after so well, but these ones have been like lived to death in. I think I've had them for about 7 years. They're very embarrassing, but these, and they are my go-to shoes for if I still want to look dressed up and made up, but I don't want to I don't want to wear anything that's uncomfortable, so I don't want to wear a heel. So this is my classic pump, which I know I need to find a replacement version of these because they have been the amount of miles these shoes have done, because they're just so comfortable and they're so easy. They go with everything. I love them. And that is like my dressing up attire if I'm not wearing heels. So therefore this bag was like the perfect choice because it goes so well with the colour, and I knew that those shoes go with most outfits that I generally wear on a day-to-day basis, so therefore my bag would too. I did look at the black, but for me, I mean, if I was to get another one I definitely would get a black one, but for me I'm so glad I got the tan, because the tan was just more standout and classic and elegant, and I just love everything about the oak colour. So yeah, I'm glad I went for that. So as I said, this one is a larger size. As I mentioned, I really do look after mine and I do decant them so it's not stuffed all of the time. So I'll show you what I've got in here generally, but it has a lot. If I show you, it has a lot of space still in there. So I currently have a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses in there. I've got this little Cath Kidston wallet which just has like receipts and all bits and bobs because I really don't like it to be messy in there. Oh my god, I sound so OCD. But I just don't like I don't like stuff just chucked in my bag. I don't like it to be like that. So yeah, this just has receipts, cards, train tickets, a pen, which again I would never just have a pen loose in this bag, so it's in something else, and a mirror is also in there. I have got, oh well, this is a Kryolan book, so I'm a makeup artist and I recently went on training with them, and so this was a notepad that they gave me and took. In here is a little Jo Malone jewelry bag, so I just have that in there for if any reason I need to take my jewelry off, I know it's safe in there. I've also got a little Jo Malone, I don't really know what this is and I don't really know why it's in my bag, Jo Malone cloth of some kind, tampon, obviously all girls have to have a spare one, a Harrods floor plan, not that I probably ever need this, and this is quite an old one of when Shoe Heaven was like the thing. So yeah, this is a floor plan. I've got an Ascot box thing, so I must have taken this bag to me at the Royal Ascot box. I have a miniature size, this perfume I absolutely love. It's Agent Provocateur and I think this is their signature scent. And it is meant to go in this bag here, but it always comes out. So yeah, that's my little top-up handbag perfume. You can see it's AP. Something I would say, I don't know, let me show you up close. Can you see all of the little suede bits in there? So the mulberry does tend to kind of molt, if that's the right word, and go all over. So all of my stuff inside here has got like bits of oak material. I've got a L'Occitane hand cream in here. This one is Jasmine Passion. It smells amazing, and I do need a hand sanitizer in here, but I don't have one, but I do have a hand cream. And a spare button of some kind. And then I've just got some hair clips and Harrods card, things like that in the side. So yeah, as you can see, I don't have loads in here. And I'm at the moment, if you saw my last unboxing, I've got a crossbody Folly bag, and the reason I got that is because as much as I love my Mulberry, I wanted something that could be lighter and I could wear it across my body and not have to worry about carrying it on my arm, because this is so big, I do tend to fill it when I'm going out, and even if I don't fill it in the morning, by the end of the day generally I've like stacked stuff in here. So I wanted something that was not going to weigh heavy on my arm, and I'd quite often have marks across here if I'm walking around London without even noticing. So yeah, I wanted something just slightly easier for day-to-day use. This still comes out all the time, and if I'm going for like a lunch or something really short that I'm not walking around for ages, then the mulberry is always going to be the answer for me. As I mentioned before, so they've got the new Mulberry Bayswater, which I will also link below. You see, like, it's known as their classic one, so they've just done a modern take on it, and actually they've added a crossbody strap onto it, which I think is a really good idea. Although it is a heavier bag, so I don't know how I'd feel about that all day crossbody, but I do think it's a good change to make, and I believe that it does up differently as well. So I will show you, now that this is empty, what this looks like inside. So bearing in mind that I have had this for, as I mentioned, 5 years, and inside is fairly, I mean, it's fairly good. There's been no leakages. Don't know how well you can see that. No leakages, no marks. There's the odd hair in here, but yeah, it's in good condition. Oh, I've also got some earphones in there. It has 2 little pockets here, so that's where I will put some cards, and if I've got a train ticket, I put my current one in there so I can quickly grab it. And then it has also got this zip pocket here, which I never use, but it's a good idea to have something that you want to keep safe and away from everything else in there. As you can see, the inside material is like this suede texture. It's just so beautifully made. Like, I'm completely obsessed because it's still, I mean, I've done well because it still smells of that new bag smell, but when I first got it, oh, the smell was incredible. Like, my whole room smelled of it. And yeah, it's, at the moment, something I would say is it's kind of misshapen. So if you wanted to avoid that, you would obviously pile it with tissue paper to keep its shape. However, I quite like it when it starts to look a bit worn, as long as it's still looking in good condition. I don't mind it to kind of lose the traditional shape because it looks loved and it looks worn, and that's what you want. You don't want it to be pristine like a brand new bag, or I personally don't. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll show you it up close now and how it's aged, because that is the best thing about mulberry. It really does change with age, and the colour slightly changes, and you can kind of tell the age of a mulberry with how much it has been used. I've got some friends that I know that don't look after their mulberry at all, and they always laugh at me for how I treat mine. But you can tell because their bag just is a completely different colour to mine, and it's kind of, it almost looks a bit sun damaged, just where it's been out and seen the world, I suppose. Whereas my one I'm very cautious of. It doesn't come on holiday or anything like that with me. If it's sunny, it tends to go under in the shade. So let me do a close-up. So here we have got the classic brass mulberry with its padlock, postman padlock detail. In here you have got the padlock itself, which I don't even know if this works, but you definitely aren't meant to have it on your mulberry. You can see. Yeah, there we go. So that is so classic. That is a lovely part of the bag. Then you can see detail up close. You can see here where it's developed its own little shape. On the back, there's been no kind of real damage to it where it's rubbed on a belt or anything. It's all in pretty good condition. In fact, I'll show you where there is a little scratch just so you can see how it takes. Just here. I don't even know if you can see that properly. And then the bottom of the bag, so you've got these lovely studs which protect it. and a lot of people will say the corners of the bag are affected, and over time they do wear slightly, but again, if you look after them, it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, that is up close of how the bag wears. Like I said, it's 5 years old, so after 5 years it's got general markings which you would expect to see on a bag that is used. So the reason that I love it so much is it's timeless, it's elegant, it's classic, it's standout. As I mentioned earlier, you see that bag and it's iconic. You know that that is a Mulberry. And I personally think it's the best design out of all of the Mulberry collection. And if I was to get another one, it would be the same bag, but in the black. I like it because it will dress up an outfit. As I mentioned, when I partner it with those shoes that I showed you, I can pretty much wear anything, and I just feel much more put together and elegant. And for me, that's what it's all about, for like weekend styling or in the week. If you want a more put together look, then this bag certainly does it. When I bought this bag, or should I say when my parents got it for me for my 21st, it was, I think, $695. So if you compare that now, I believe that this is $995, so I think it's just under £1,000. So it is constantly building in price, which does mean that it's your investment. Obviously it doesn't build quite like your Chanel's do, which I personally think is a good thing, because that has just got to the level where it's just extortionate. So I think now, after 5 years, with the way I've looked after it, I could probably sell it for the same price that I bought this bag for, if not a little bit more, especially if it keeps building. So yeah, £300 it's gone up by over 5 years. So not crazy amount, and it's kind of what you expect to see in luxury. But it just shows that it's always an investment to do that. And that's why it's so important, if you ever do think there's a chance you could sell anything, to really look after your stuff, because you just never know what that is one day going to be worth. Or it's good to just have investment pieces. I might not have the savings that my partner has, but I always say to him, if it was a crisis and I needed money, like my shoe collection is really just going up and up and up in value over the years. So yeah, I just wanted to show you it. I will insert a few pictures now of me wearing it and styling it differently, some photos up close so you can see. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you how much I love this, why I love this, why it's good. I can't fault it. I just love it so much, and I just think it's great quality. If you haven't been and looked up close at a Mulberry, just go and do it. They're not pushy. Well, they don't generally tend to be pushy in there. And just go and have a look about, look at the different styles, look at the different colours. If you're looking at a seasonal piece and you can't make your mind up, wait for the end of season, because their sales that they do can be amazing. My mum's got one in, it's like a seasonal pink colour, and it went down by 50%, and she was gutted because she'd paid full price for it. So if you're unsure of anything, I would say definitely wait for their sales. Have one, ladies and gents. I would love to hear your views on it. If there's anything I haven't mentioned that you think would be worth the viewers knowing. I think that's it. I think I've said everything I need to say. So my all-time favourite bag. Can't fault it. Go and buy one if you're thinking about it. And have a look at the difference between the small size and the larger size. Go and actually see, because the website doesn't do it justice, just how different the two are. It may be that you just need a smaller bag, so large is out of the question for you. But if you're contemplating, I would definitely recommend the large, because it's just a great everyday bag that will fit everything in here. It will also fit my laptop if I want it in there, which I don't generally. I have a laptop bag for that. Yes, so if you enjoyed this video, guys, please like. Trying not to be upset at the fact that my last video that had my brother in has had more views than any other vlog that I've done, so I'm hoping that is just due to it being a great video and nothing to do with the fact that you all just love my brother. Yes, so subscribe, like, I have had amazing feedback from you guys, so thank you so much, and I will see you next time for another luxury video. Bye!